All right, everybody, Samori Benjamin here with San Diego Padre pitcher Nestor Cortes, but more importantly, former Yankee man. Good seeing you back here in New York, Nestor. Here with San Diego, you are right now. We're in a strong playoff run. Team is looking good, so how does it feel to be here?
Yeah, it feels great. Happy to be back to New York. Obviously, New York, gave me a lot of good memories, but my chapter in San Diego has been great. Organization is great. Players are great. They have welcomed me with open arms. I wasn't on the healthier side to begin with, but we're trying our hardest to be back and hopefully make this playoff run a long one.
Nestor, I know you're from South Florida,
yeah,
Miami area. A lot of talent from that area, man. So, growing up, as a kid, what inspired you to want to play baseball and play sports?
Yeah, I lived about 2 blocks away from a baseball field, and I remember, watching videos of when I was younger, and my parents showed me videos when I was younger. It looked like I always had a bat and a ball in my hand since I was 2 or 3 years old. And my dad encouraged me to play. Nobody in my family ever played any real sports, but they had a passion for baseball. I had a passion for soccer, and I picked up baseball, and probably when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, I truly loved it. Watched the Florida Marlins growing up, and they kind of inspired me to keep going and keep playing. And obviously, as a little kid, you have dreams to make it to the big leagues and be in an MLB team, and we're here today.
Yeah, man. So I guess your parents, you said, weren't sports fans at first, but once you started playing, I'm sure they became sports fans.
Oh yeah.
So how cool was it seeing your parents becoming sports fans?
Oh, it was great. It was great because obviously my dad was a 9-to-5 worker, and my mom did nails at the house and basically a housewife taking care of me when I was growing up. But it was truly amazing, their sacrifice they made towards me, and our vacations weren't vacations; they were baseball trips to another state. So I'm always grateful, always thankful for what they did. Hopefully, I could pass that down to my child and just be a father figure for that. And like I said, I truly thank them for my career, and thanks to them I'm here.
Yeah, that's special, man. Now, Marlins fan growing up, so they won 2 World Series, 97, 2003. So, do you remember either one of those?
2003, like the palm of my hand.
Okay.
2003, I knew the whole lineup, rotation, you name it. Truly incredible.
Yeah, man. Of course, they beat the Yankees, so that was a big statement for the Marlins. It was cool because I was down there actually in August, and they honored Jack McCann.
Yeah.
He's 94 right now. He was out there speaking. It was really cool, man. So in high school, man, in Miami, what was the competition like playing down there?
It's tough, man. Obviously the weather down there is optimal for baseball, optimal for sports. We kind of have a little advantage, I would say, because we could play year round. If you live up here, it's hard to play in the winter. So the competition was tough, man. The competition, like I said, everybody played year round. Everybody was really competitive. I think our culture down there, being highly Cuban, you know how it is in Cuba. People are trying to survive. People are trying to just get fed, and I think they bring they bring that same spirit when they come to the States. And like I said, they're trying to survive. They don't know the first language, which is English. Most of them are Spanish speakers. My parents to this day don't know any English. Just a little bit to get by. So I think that brings out a lot in young players and young athletes down there. Just the will to survive and the will to keep going really makes them competitive. Really makes them true superstars down there, because as you know, the big leagues, it's all around the world, but there's a lot of South Florida guys in the big leagues right now, and they're proving it too.
Yes. So were you born in Florida or
born in Cuba?
Born in Cuba.
Born
in
Cuba.
How old were you when you moved to Miami, and how was that? That must have been tough for you.
Yeah. So my dad won the visa lottery to come to the States, and I was born in December of '94, and we come to the States July of '95. So I was 7 months old. Like I said, none of us spoke the language. My mom was 19, my dad was 26. So relatively young, in a world where they had to take care of a newborn, provide for their family, and get around. So like I said, a lot of props I give it to them, because they didn't give up, over supported me throughout my career, kept me in line. I think being from Miami, you can go different routes in Miami and go different ways, but I just thank them for for keeping me in a good head place and just be able to grow up as a kid and have fun and not really ask of anything of me other than just have fun, play baseball, be yourself, get good grades. That's all we care about, and that's kind of what I did.
At what point in your development do you think that you can make it to the major leagues?
I didn't know. So when I was in high school, as a junior, I was like 82, 85, 86 on a good day, and obviously that's not big league talent. So I didn't really know as a junior that I was going to be, but I got scouted around for college, and a lot of colleges were interested. So obviously my main goal was, get my books paid. That's all I was striving for. So my parents didn't have to come out of pocket. And then as a senior in the fall, I kind of worked out, concentrated more on lifting and doing stuff for my body, and jumped up to 90. I was 88 to 90, hit 91, 92 at times. And that's when scouts really approached me and, wanted to see my makeup and wanted to see where I was committed. So at that time, I'm like, okay, maybe I have a chance to sign a professional contract. But I was so naive to the whole thing. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know I was going to be in this place. So here we are, 12 years later after I got drafted. I spent 5 years in the minor leagues. This is parts of 8 years for me. So just grateful to be here, man.
Yeah, so you were drafted out of high school.
Drafted out of high school, 18 years old, yeah.
Okay, what
36 rounder.
36 round, okay, so at that moment right there, like you said, you weren't really even, you were kind of naive about the process and all that.
Yeah.
All of it is new to you, so 36 round, how did it feel to be drafted at that point?
Well, great, I mean...
that was the Yankees drafted you?
Yankees drafted me, yes. It was great because I think people in South Florida, people in the Miami area knew I was a good player. So to have the accomplishment of getting drafted, I think that just puts you on another level. It separates you from your competition, and everybody knows in Miami, oh, Nestor just got drafted, Nestor got drafted, Nestor got drafted, Nestor signed. So it felt special. It felt special at the time, but like I said, like we were saying, so naive that I didn't know 36 rounder was so far behind, and it's just great. It's great.
So the minor leagues, you mentioned you were in there for like 5 years. It's a grind. So 36 rounder.
Yeah.
Not get drafted that late. You're not necessarily going to get the same opportunity as somebody drafted in the first round and all that. So
of course.
How was that experience for you, and how were you able to make it to the majors?
I mean, like I said, being a 36 rounder, I didn't know what I was going to come up against, and I didn't even know what to expect, to be honest, until I showed up and saw, just a bunch of young guys trying to play, trying to make it, trying to get moved up in levels. At the time, I was just happy for the opportunity. I was happy to be in rookie ball, playing rookie ball, wearing the NY on my chest, being able to say back home that I played for the New York Yankees. I was just happy about that. And then, once the years came about, I want to say I spent 3 years in rookie ball, and I was like, man, all I want to do is play under the lights, and under the lights for us was high. So I was like, I just want to play under the lights, And the big leagues is fun and all, but I just want to play under the lights. And one thing led to the other, and I played 4 leagues in 2016. Went to the fall league, blew up there, and then 17 I had a really good year, and I got Rule 5 to the Orioles.
So what do you remember about your major league debut with Baltimore?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't belong there. As a 36 rounder, making your big league debut at 23, it's pretty special. It's like, there's a lot of first rounders that don't make their big league debut at 23. So
definitely.
Being 23 and making my big league debut was incredible. I faced the Minnesota Twins. My first strikeout was Byron Buxton, so that's a big one. Faced Joe Mauer. So it was a short stint with the Orioles, but definitely learned a lot from it, and was able to incorporate that later on in the years.
Right, so after that you made your first stint with the Yankees, right? Is that correct?
In 2019, correct, yes.
Okay, it's 2019, first time with the Yankees. So what do you remember, the team that drafted you, you were Rule 5 draft and not begin your career there in the majors, but now you get back to the Bronx. What was that like?
Yeah, so 2019 was an up and down year for me. I got optioned a lot. I was basically like their safety net. They knew I threw strikes. They knew I was going to go out there and compete. Gave up a couple runs here and there, but I thought overall it was a learning experience for me in that year because I created a a routine for myself. I didn't have one before that year. So I started learning about my routines, learning about, different things, and I was able to compete, but I got released from there, and Seattle picks me up on waivers for 2020 season. But yeah, I mean, Yankees was a family to me. Like I said earlier in there, I was talking to somebody in there earlier. I said, how are the Yankees? I'm like, team that drafted me, team that saw me grow up, team that made me who I am, basically. So I'm always grateful for that.
Right, okay, so Seattle, 2020 and all that, then you make your way back to the Yankees. 2021, you make your way back to the Yankees. Okay.
Yeah.
So initially, and next year, you're an All-Star next year, right?
Yes,
2022.
sir. Yep.
So 2021, when you get back there, what's your mindset, and how did things go for you at that point?
Yeah, when I got back to the Yankees in 21, they showed me how to throw the sweeper. I increased my velo, put me in different workout regimens that made me stronger in different positions, and developed a cutter, which is my bread and butter. And I ended up starting the second half of the year in 21. Made 14 starts, went really well for me. And then come into spring in 22, and Aaron Boone sits next to me in the locker. He says, "You're gonna be an All-Star this year." And I'm like, "Yeah, right. Like, you don't know this." And little did you know, I made the All-Star team in 22, and it was great. It was great.
Yeah. So you learned the sweeper and all that. I make the All-Star team. So I guess, how did you make the All-Star team? You kind of mentioned how did you change a little bit, but and how did it feel to get named to the All-Star team at Dodger Stadium?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. We were in Boston, and I was a little nervous. Obviously, I started looking at numbers now because we're closer to the All-Star game, and I want to see if I'm able to make it and see if I make it. And Aaron Boone calls me into the office and puts a hidden camera and asks me, "Hey, you remember what I told you in spring?" I said, "Yeah, that was going to be an All-Star." And he goes, "Well, there you got it. You're an All-Star." So that was a cool moment for me and my family. I think, like I said, being from Cuba, growing up in Hialeah, not really having a for sure route to the big leagues, and being an All-Star was basically everything I ever wanted, and I got it, and it was sick.
How was it for you when you got into the game?
Yeah, no, it was nerve-wracking for sure. Coming in Dodger Stadium, obviously like 60,000 people in there, and obviously facing the best in the league.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to embarrass myself, and I tried my best to do the best I can, and was able to get 2 strikeouts and not allow runs. So it was a good one.
I know your teammate Big G won MVP that game.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I got a few more for you, man. I appreciate it. Okay, what was the best part about just being in New York and playing in New York?
Yeah, I think being able to go into that locker room every day and expecting to win was the biggest cool moment for me. I think fans expected excellence every single day. You wanted to give the fans excellence. And everything just snowballed into trying to be as good as you can. And luckily for my career with the Yankees, as I see it, was pretty good. I had 3 out of the 4.5 years I was there. I was really good, and I was just happy to be there.
Yeah. How about last season, your last year there? That was the first time y'all make it back to the World Series, the franchise, in 15 years. It was fun covering it, fun watching it, man. So just what were your thoughts about, that World Series run last year?
Yeah, it's obviously we didn't end up how we wanted. We didn't win, but it was a good learning curve for a lot of us, I think. And when you go deep into the postseason, you don't just become teammates anymore. Now you become friends. You become family, right? You're with the same group of guys for 7-8 months. Every single day, eating together, showering together, pulling for each other. So, you end up creating a nice bond that lasts forever. And I was out here yesterday, and Juan Soto saw me and kind of said what's up to each other. And I think that's the beautiful part of being able to play this sport, where you create brotherhood, you create friends that last a lifetime. And there's a bunch out there, Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres. So many guys that I play with that we still stay in touch, and it's great. But like I said, the playoff run was nice. Obviously, didn't end the way we wanted to. Hopefully, we could go on a streak here and give a run for the playoffs here in the championship.
So we're all human. this year, your first start with your new team, Milwaukee, was in the Bronx, so that had to be weird. I mean, what was that feeling like?
Yeah, it was tough. I think obviously for the team that traded me away, and now I'm facing them in the first series of the season. Yeah, a lot of things going through my head, a lot of emotions, and seeing those guys and playing in New York again for the first time after I got traded was a little tough, but it's part of the game. It's part of being a professional, and I tried to give my best, and it didn't go as I planned. But we're here today. We're another. I feel like another good part about this game is that if you mess up today, you have always an opportunity tomorrow to redeem yourself.
Yes, man. And what's the mindset of a pitcher? To me, it seems like very tough if you having a tough outing and you can't get the ball past guys that are rocking you.
Yeah.
How do you stay confident and say, you know what, I can stay in there, get guys out, or even next game I can come out and get guys out?
Yeah, you just gotta trust the process. I think being able to do this for a long time, you just gotta trust the work that you've put in, the hours you've put in. Everybody's talented on this field. It's all about how strong you are mentally and what's gonna get you past it. So, like I said, just you gotta trust the process, trust that you've done the work, trust you've done your homework, and everything will sort itself out.
This year, you go from a really good team in the Brewers to the Padres. So, what was that like going from Milwaukee to San Diego?
Yeah, no, different style played, different organization for sure. Milwaukee, I remember in spring training, they preached not having a big payroll. They didn't spend money on guys, and somehow they're the best team in the league. And there's a lot of scrappy players, a lot of guys there willing to win and willing to do everything for the team, and just a great group of guys, to be honest. My time there, I enjoyed it. I was in the IL for the most part, but watching them prepare, watching them compete was really special. It was really special, and I'm not surprised at all of what they're doing. At first, I think we played 500 baseball for the first 2 months, and then they went on a row. So it was fun to watch that, and you got a couple of veterans there that are holding it tight. Yelich was awesome, Freddie Prato was awesome, Quintana was awesome. Guys that have done it in the past, paving the way for the new guys. But it was a good organization. I enjoyed my time there, like I said, and then when the trade deadline came around, they had a surplus of pitching. And me not being out the whole year, basically, is like, well, we can get rid of this guy easily because he hasn't been doing anything for us. And luckily, the Padres, know who I am, saw something in me, and I was able to come here and do some work for them. I got on the IL now a few days ago, but working hard to get back for the playoffs.
Well, it's very interesting. So they actually they preach that they're a small market team to you guys in Milwaukee. Like, hey, we're a small market team, so we got to try and win the other way as well. Very interesting, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so now last couple of ones for you. Who is the most talented teammate you ever played with?
Oof.
Yeah.
Most talented teammate? Well, now that I got here, I feel like Fernando Tatis is the most talented one. The guy can do it all.
What's the most talented guy you ever played with?
Talented?
Yeah, most talented, yeah. I mean, it could be him, I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's definitely up there for sure. But I feel like I've been a part of a lot of good teams. Man, like I gotta put a top five. I think Bryce Terang was really talented. Sal Frelick is pretty talented. Aaron Judge is really talented. Juan Soto's obviously super talented. And then you come here, you got Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado. Like, it's just, when you're part of good teams, there's a lot of talent, and there's always that somebody that you see is like, wow, man, this guy comes to play every single day, and regardless of how hard he works, but his talent overshines every single time. So, yeah, man, there's a lot of guys that a lot of teams I've been part of that have really talented guys, and I would say those 6 are like the top 6 for me for sure.
You have a favorite player growing up?
Favorite player growing up? My favorite player growing up was Dontrelle Willis.
Nice, man, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
He was a lefty pitcher from Florida, and
no doubt.
Watched him pitch a lot, and but I would say my favorite athlete was Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade, okay, yeah. Now I definitely can see some Dontrelle in you now that you mentioned that. And Dwayne Wade, okay, yeah, so I saw you Miami Heat fan.
Yeah.
When they were playing the Knicks, you were a Yankee, that. You had some fun with that. So what was it like? I'm a big LeBron fan and all that, but even though I'm a Knicks fan, but what was it like just watching the Heat as a kid growing up and all that?
Yeah, I was in high school when they were going on that incredible run. with LeBron there. You know, those 4 years were incredible. It was literally my freshman to senior year in high school, so it was fun. We went to a lot of watch parties, watched a lot of games, celebrated a lot of playoffs down there in Hialeah. But the 06 team was incredible too with Wade and Shaq. So definitely got lucky, I think, having Wade in our team and being able to watch how he went about his business every single year and found a way to get the playoffs for most of his career.
Yeah, Pat Riley's the man. He was with the Knicks before he went to Miami, so I became a big fan of his with the Knicks. Last one for you, man. Okay, so you mentioned that you just got off the IL and all that.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling, and how are you feeling about just possibility of playing in the playoffs?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. I threw a bullpen yesterday. I have a live BP on Friday. I'm about to come off the IL soon. Just like I said, working hard to just be somebody that can contribute something to this team, you know. I know this team is very talented. We have all the right pieces to make a big run in the playoffs, and hopefully it's this year, and hopefully I could just be a stepping stone for them for, you know, just win some ball games and get to where we need to get.
I wish you good luck. And folks, Nestor Cortes, 2022 All-Star, former Yankee, gave us some great moments. Nestor, man, you're a great guy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're back.